Heya, I'm Matthew Rippey Young, a psychologist based in Ottawa, Ontario, Canada. Today's video blog post: things people want to know about therapy but don't want to spend their clinical time talking about. So usually the first question that comes up before anybody comes in is, do I need a referral? I don't need a referral for you. I don't need someone to tell me why you're coming in. I assume that's what you're going to do when you sit down. I'm happy to listen to you talk about anything at all that's going on in your life or that has gone on in the past. And you can tell me in English ou aussi en français. Je suis à l'aise dans les deux langues officielles du Canada. But as it turns out, the third language I've learned to speak in this career is the language of insurance companies. So if you're planning to take receipts you get from me and submit them through your insurance, they're probably going to want a referral. So I recommend that before you come in the first time, call your insurance company and find out what the process is. The referral usually comes from your family doctor. It's not a big deal to get. And even some family doctors are willing to backdate for up to 3 months. Don't quote me on it, but I've heard that as a pretty common practice. So figure out that administrative stuff, but in terms of referrals, I certainly don't need one. Another big question that comes up is whether or not the fee is different if you come in as an individual or a couple or a family. I don't have a per head charge. What you're booking is you're booking my time and my consultation. So whether you're 1 or 2 or 5 or 10, it doesn't really matter to me. We're doing the same work. Although you should tell me if you're more than 5 because I want to make sure everyone has a chair. People also wonder how long sessions go. So I try to run a therapeutic hour, which is give or take around 50 minutes. Clearly, if we're in the middle of something heavy, there's not going to be like a buzzer that goes off at 50 minutes and me telling you to get out. We'll wrap up as best we can and contain until your next session. But the 50-minute gives us time to, at the end of the session, you can rebook and settle up with my assistant. I can write the clinical note. Maybe I'm going to get something to eat. But, I can put myself together before the next clinical hour that way. So aim for about 50 minutes of in-session talking time. Of the things you talk about, people often wonder where their information goes. So I keep clinical notes. I keep a file here. But that information really stays here with me, with the exception of if you give me written consent to share information with other people. The only times I don't need your consent are if you lead me to believe you're likely to kill yourself or somebody else, and you can't promise me you won't, or you seem unable to keep such a promise. I do what I can to keep you and others safe and living. I'm a mandatory reporter for child and senior abuse and neglect in the province, so anything you tell me that falls under those categories I need to let people know about. And finally, there could come a time when a court of law wants information. You don't want it to go, but I find it ethical to send it anyway. It's not ever happened to me in nearly 2 decades of work at this point, but because theoretically it could, you need to know that before you really start talking. Another question people often ask is, can I swear in therapy? To which I always respond, fuck yeah! Life is hard. Sometimes we use colorful language. Really, it's not a big deal. There's not a whole lot that offends me. The only things that really get under my skin are like hateful words, like the N-word, like let's not do that here. This is like safe space. Healing happens here. So, but by and large, shit happens. People swear. I don't fucking care. I'm happy to hear you express yourself however you want to do it. People also often wonder, what happens if I'm late to therapy? I'm not sitting here in high judgment of you. I'm not thinking, oh, you don't respect my time. What I'm really thinking is like, oh, maybe you're stuck in traffic. Oh, maybe something happened. Who knows? But I assume that you'll get here eventually, or otherwise you'll give me a call. If you're 5 or 10 minutes late, that's also where the therapeutic hour is a benefit, because we have a little buffer time at the end so that it's not like you get shortchanged. So come when you can. Those are pretty much the basic questions that people often wonder about. If you have other questions, certainly feel free to shoot me an email or let me know in some way. I'm happy to answer them. And if there are video blog posts you want me to do something about, I'm happy to do that too. So you can send me an email at matthewrippyyoung@gmail.com. It's MatthewRippyOung@gmail.com. And I'd love to hear from you. All right, well, so be well and enjoy your day, and I hope you've enjoyed the post. Take care. Bye-bye.